The other day from a woman. Her voice was shaking. She needed help. Her husband tragically was unable to call himself, but he had told her previously, if anything ever happens to me, call Morgan & Morgan. I was humbled and proud. And what higher honor could we receive than protecting someone's family after they're gone? Her call came in on a weekend night. We went to work right away that night. Life can be shattered in a moment, in a car crash, work injury, or medical malpractice. When that happens, you need a big law firm with an unmatched reputation and resources to fight for you. If your family ever experiences something like this family did, know that America's largest injury law firm is here for you 24/7. We are big because we won a lot. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Storm again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's regained strength after moving across the Gulf Coast and up.
We're expecting another inch or two of rain over eastern North Carolina during the next few hours.
Eric Blake, the National Hurricane Center. Claudette's blamed for 13 deaths in Alabama. 8 of them were kids on a bus. They collided with a car, hydroplaning in high water. A man and his daughter died in that vehicle.
In Tuscaloosa County, a 24-year-old man and 3-year-old boy were killed when a tree fell on their home.
Fox's Jonathan Seri. There's a manhunt in Iowa for whoever shot a sheriff's deputy late last night during a robbery in a store. The Lynn County Sheriff's Office tweeted for everyone in the area to lock their doors and stay inside. The U.S. is trying to re-engage with North Korea. Fox's Simon Owen has more live.
Dave, the new top U.S. envoy for North Korea has gone to South Korea. Sung Kim is meeting with American allies. U.S. diplomatic efforts to tackle the North's nuclear weapons are stalled.
We hope to receive a positive response to our proposal for a meeting soon.
Kim says the U.S. has offered to hold talks with North Korean officials anytime, anywhere, without preconditions. But North Korean leader Kim Jong-un last week said his country should prepare for both dialogue and confrontation with the U.S. Dave?
Simon, another round of indirect talks with Iran ended over the weekend as the U.S. considers rejoining the nuclear deal President Trump pulled out of. Fox's Trey Yingst.
Previously, the Biden administration refused to lift any sanctions until behavior by Iran changed. Though slowly, President Biden is indicating economic pressure could be lifted under the right circumstances. On Fox News Sunday, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan outlined what the United States is looking for in negotiations.
To reimpose the constraints that put Iran's nuclear program in a box.
Now, Iran elected a new president last week, Ibrahim Raisi. Israel's new prime minister calls him a hangman. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Monday morning. Off to a smooth start out on the roads. I-75 looking nice and clear. All of our overnight construction is gone. US 41 not seeing any problems out there on the highway as well. If you're commuting on Alligator Alley toward the East Coast early on this morning, may notice a little bit of smoke from a brush fire right around mile marker 80. That takes you over to State Road 29. But altogether, visibility looking very good on the interstate in the alley this morning. Clear on our bridges as well between the Cape and Fort Myers, downtown into North Fort Myers, the Caloosahatchee and Edison bridges running at about 2 to 3 minutes in each direction. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Monday, Southwest Florida. After a muggy start to the day, look for another hot and humid afternoon with a high near 92 degrees and heat index values ranging between 100 to 107 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms develop as we head into this afternoon, winding down later on in the evening with temperatures falling only into the middle 70s overnight. Tomorrow, slightly drier with just some isolated storms. Still another hot day with a high near 93 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run. us all along.
At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, I strive to offer the highest level of care for those suffering with back and neck problems. With unparalleled service and our award-winning non-surgical spinal decompression approach, thousands of people have chosen us to treat their back or neck problems. If you are seeking lasting relief that is proven effective without needles or surgery, then call today to see if you may be a candidate. This completely safe treatment can be effective for many conditions, including sciatica, ruptured or herniated discs, facet syndrome, compressed nerves, arthritis, and spinal stenosis. Additionally, people who had failed back surgery in the past often find incredible relief from spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care, all our treatments are drug-free and non-surgical. We use new and comprehensive approaches that provide lasting relief. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash-out refi program and pay off high-rate credit cards, car loans, or other high-interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Indeed believes less is more. That's why they have powerful tools to help you source, screen, and hire quality people faster. Learn more at Indeed.com/credit.
Where do designers store their clients' furniture when doing an estate home remodel? Rice's Moving and Transport in Naples. With over 10,000 square feet of air-conditioned storage space, designers use Rice's Moving and Transport for one reason: trust. They know Rice's Moving team will pad wrap and inspect all articles carefully, then securely store them. Contractors use Rice's during a remodel to store customers' personal items too. Upon completion, everything is then returned to your home, completely unpacked and carefully reassembled. Another important point to consider when selecting a mover is this: only a handful of moving companies actually follow all the laws. Many moving companies simply pay employees in cash. This creates an issue for you as they are not insured. If there's an accident, you're responsible. So if you're planning a whole home or condo remodel or need help moving and storing your treasured furniture and valuables, trust Rice's Moving and Transport, fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind. Rice'sMoving.net, moving you into the future.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. DrewSteele.com, the website. We stream live. Steele has 3 E's anytime you want to watch. We appreciate it at Drew Steele Radio, I believe, on Facebook. I haven't checked in a while if it's there or not, but from what I understand, it kind of is. It sort of is. It's there. Okay. Hey, how was your weekend? Jake had a nice weekend. I had a chance to visit with family, which is nice. I had a great weekend as well. I'm going to miss my parents now. They're going to be leaving back up north in a couple of days. And after spending 2 weeks with them and not having seen them for a year and a half in their 80s, it was just an awesome couple of weeks, culminating with a great weekend. And that part of it is not great, but you know it's been a lot of fun. And man, I'll tell you, I am. I sound a little different this morning. I almost sound like I'm tired, but I'm not. I don't. You know what I think it is? I think it's that Sahara dust. Have you noticed that just in the past couple of days, or even this week? You know, I talked about it last week about that Sahara dust that was coming over. If you notice, the sunsets have been a little more bronzy and glowy, and I don't know if that's the right word for it. I'm not a scientist. I just play one at home, and there's a couple of tools with the wife and the Sahara dust, and I guess it's kind of been because the days have been like superheated hot. Have you noticed that? I understand it's summer, but still, it was crazy hot for the past couple of days. And I'm just wondering if it's like a combination of the Sahara dust that's kind of making like a semi-dome over us and the fact that whatever that is like in my sinuses. Man, I can't believe I'm getting into the medical and the scientific right out of the gate. Not really scientific, but all right. So just in case people are wondering, why do you sound like that? That's I'm not tired or anything like that. It's just it's weird. All right, coming up this morning, there was a straw poll that had a whole bunch of Republicans asking the question, who you like approval for the 2024 race for president of the United States. And Donald Trump did not win the straw poll. Very interesting. So who did win? And can you read a whole lot into polls? I mean, how much really can you...
I'm really offended personally.
Yep. Just always throwing that little ditty out there. Never gets old. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Also, a couple of more wins for Florida. And the more that these wins start to pile up, and people start to realize that, hey, the governor kind of knows a little bit about what he's doing here in the state. There have been a lot of examples of how positive things have happened in the state. Hey, if you're somebody who's running against the governor in 2022, and maybe you're like Nikki Fried or something like that.
Marijuana?
Yeah, that's not all. You got to have more than that. You got to have more than that, people. And what if CNN calls you out for the things that you've said negatively about the governor, when really you got to do better than that? You got to have more. And never take anything for granted. There's a lot of positive news out of the state of Florida. There are a lot of people that want to move here, but at the same time, again, the left plays the long game. They're not giving up because there's a lot of positive things happening here. When it comes to critical race theory, I'm telling you, you're winning. The left is not going to give up on this. They're going to push and push and push. They're even going to come up with false narratives to try to make you believe that what you see is not what you see. That happened on Meet the Press this weekend. I'm going to have details on that. And once again, there is a reason why nationally people are talking about critical race theory and why nationally this is coming up. And it's not because it's a little baby deal happening in a small town somewhere in the middle of Trump country. No. It's happening all across the country. And there are plenty of examples of how this is happening, not only in public schools, not only in charter schools, but it's also happening in very elite schools. There's a school in New York that is $85,000 a year to send your kids. It's an elementary school, $85,000. Can you imagine that? And even in a school like that, there are situations that are happening that you can't avoid. So the two things that we are going to talk about and bring up this morning are very simple. Number one, the left this weekend got wrecked in a lot of different ways. Brian Stelter, Nikki Fried, and others, because the truth is out there and they can't hide from it. And even though the media wants you to believe that the left is loved in this country universally, it's not the case. And then the other thing, too, is that there's been a lot of this weekend false narratives, people who should be apologizing for horrible, horrific positions that they have taken, but they won't. And they're on the left. And I will show you and play audio about all of that coming up. All right, let's get to this. So what happened here at the Western Conservative Summit? The Western Conservative Summit took place, and they were surveying attendees. It was at the It was the Centennial Institute. It's Colorado Christian University's public policy think tank. And so they used an approval method. So it allows participants to vote for multiple responses for each question, including a question about which 2024 presidential candidate they approve of from the dozens of top contenders. So it's not like, who would you vote for? It's, if this person runs, would you approve of them? So it's a little different than what some might be suggesting. But still, when you have a straw poll of Western conservatives getting together, where, I don't know if I have the audio or not, the same conference that you probably heard about that Mike Pence, was this the one that Mike Pence attended? I'm not sure about that, so maybe I shouldn't even say it. Well, Mike Pence attended a conference, and he got heckled a little bit by some people out in the audience who were telling him he should be ashamed and what he did to Trump. But in this straw poll, the top 5 candidates in order of the most approval to the least approval, most approval to least was, well, let's go from least to most on the top 5, because that's how you're supposed to do it, right? If you do one of these, right? If you're a top 40 DJ, isn't that how you puke it out? I mean, isn't that how you say it? Isn't that what you do? Everybody, number 5. Isn't it? Jake's not helping me. I thought, don't you know about puking DJs?
I don't participate in that.
I know. Well, I know you don't participate in it, but you know what I'm talking about. Like when the top 5, we do top 5 audio clips, but when a top 5 happens on a pukey DJ station, that's how they do it, right? Hey, everybody, it's a top 5 of the most candidates in order of approval to least. You ready for number 5? Isn't that how it goes? Doesn't every top 40 DJ sound like that?
Yeah, I know a few.
Okay. Number 5, Senator Tim Scott with 36%. Look at him. Number 4, Mike Pompeo at 39%. I got to stop doing the voice. I'm sorry. It is fun, though. Try it at home. Don't try it on the air. Senator Tim Scott at 36%. Mike Pompeo at 39%. Senator Cruz at 43%. Donald Trump at 71%, and Ron DeSantis at 74%. I know people are like, they're either or they're. That depends on where you are. So, just approval from most approval to least approval in the top 5. And clearly, Ron DeSantis at 74% and Donald Trump at 71%. And then the next closest is Ted Cruz at 43%. I don't even have to go through the rest of the list. All you need to know about is it's not after Trump and DeSantis, it's not even close. It's just not close. And again, this is different than who do you want to run or who would you vote for. This is just an approval method. Just saying, listen, on a scale, who do you like? Who, do you least like? You like everybody, but so. And the top 5 policy issues, according to this Western Conservative Summit, was immigration, border security, election integrity, religious freedom, federal budget deficit, and gun rights, all of which, every single one of them is in the headlines over the weekend. Every single one of them. And if you're a conservative, for all the wrong reasons. Because of the problems with border security, the now spinning of election integrity on the heels of more audits popping up, and even Pennsylvania saying, hey, maybe we might want to do one of these audit-y kind of things because everybody else seems to be doing it, like Arizona and different places in Georgia. And we're starting to see some ballot issues. And hey, I don't know, maybe things will be popping. And religious freedom came up as well. Interesting that religious freedom did come up on the heels of a new documentary about what's happening in Canada, or as some would say, Canada. Isn't that what they say in certain areas of Canada? So there's a new documentary that came out about the government cracking down in Canada on Canadian Christians. And it's been likened to communist China, that somehow Christians in Canada have to go underground. The government war on worship was released and is shocking. But it's happening not too far away. So yeah, that's a concern that people have. And what else? The federal budget and deficit exploding, the kind of money that we're spending without regard to anything at all. We just keep printing it. It's no problem because, the faith and trust of the American government, we're good. Everything is fine. You have nothing to see here unless, of course, you have policies being put together by administrations that would stifle anything that we could possibly do when it comes to runaway inflation, when it comes to getting people back to work and doing quite the opposite. How many times this weekend did you talk to family members? At least I did. I don't know if you had the same experience. But how many times did you talk to family members this weekend and the topic of somehow people not going back to work came up? The issue of restaurants that are understaffed, hotels that are trying to keep up with more corporate business or people that want to do big events, banquet events that can't do it because they can't find staff. The amount of now hiring signs that are out there and people still can't and won't get off the sideline because we still have to wait at least in the state until the end of the month before the UI runs out here in the state. And you're going to have to show and prove multiple times that you're trying to get a job and you're out there and you're doing it. And good for the red states for doing that. But how even we have to wait until September before the opportunity for landlords to be able to get paid for their properties by the people that are living in them because they're still going to be able to get that money from the federal government. And how all of these things are government's fault and then has to have government intervention to fix what the government is breaking, which continues, whether it's the budget, deficit, and gun rights. And still, that is out there, especially and now more than ever, where there is going to be this push that continues in very, how do I explain it? It's not going to be overt. It's going to be covert. In other words, it's not going to be openly how they're going to take away your guns. It's how hard it's going to be to get ammunition. It's how hard it's going to be to get magazines, how hard it's going to be to get parts. It's all the things that they're going to make plenty difficult, if you will. And that's how they're going to do it and have been. So people have questions about this. And so that was this, and I know it's this Western Conservative Summit. And people are like, well, look at this. Oh, Ron DeSantis beating Donald Trump. Oh, Donald Trump is losing the state. Well, not so much. Not so much. And, I would take Trump and DeSantis in any order, any day of the week than where we are now. Because we certainly know where we could be and should be. And I know people are just trying to break this down as if, well, is this going to be a situation where DeSantis now, because he's out in front, he's going to have, meaning in front of the cameras and all the policies that he's able to put forward and the positive things that are happening and this momentum and whether or not Trump is sitting on the sidelines thinking, I know you got to take it down when it comes to that way of thinking and just know that, man, we've got a pretty good looking bench across the board. And it's just our responsibility to make sure we do our part. And certainly when it comes to election integrity, a lot of states starting to get on board with, hey, look, can we make sure that not only do we audit what happened in 2020 to see that it never happens again, but strengthen the ability to ensure that it doesn't happen again? It's getting done. Plus, the CDC saying, listen, cruise ships can't sail, can't have it. Because, the CDC knows everything when it comes to the issues of COVID. And it's not like they flipped a couple of times and didn't go with the science and went against the science in some cases, which they did. And But yeah, the CDC, that no sale, can't do it, goes to a federal judge. And guess who the judge sided with? U.S. District Judge Stephen Meredith, the Middle District of Florida, granted a preliminary injunction against the CDC's order on Friday. That's right, with the summer season kicking off and people starting to realize that seems like COVID's kind of winding down a little bit here. You ready to get back to normal? And so a win for the governor. Temporary victory, but we'll see how it goes. But many victories that are out there. Now, I'm also bringing this up because we're going to go to break. But when we come back from break, what about the other side? What about, for example, Nikki Fried, who was wrecked? Remember, some of the theme of today is how the left is getting wrecked on certain media outlets and even on their own. Brian Stelter got wrecked on C-SPAN. It was glorious when they took calls, live calls. And maybe you don't want to do that. But on CNN, Nikki Fried getting wrecked. Again, calling out the positive things that Governor DeSantis has been able to do. And I'm not sure you can make a case if you're Nikki Fried. What is your case? Well, you'll hear the audio coming up. It's pretty hilarious. All right, 239-479-5592. DrewSteele.com is the website in case you want to watch the program. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate it. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
American Airlines says it will cancel around 1% of its flights in July, faced with a surprise uptick in travel demand. The airline is struggling with bad weather and a labor shortage at some of its hubs. Iran is storing oil so it can restart exports, just as diplomats say they've made progress towards restarting the 2015 Iran nuclear deal. The Middle Eastern nation sits on the world's 4th largest oil reserves. China's first investable real estate trust debuted on mainland stock exchanges Monday. Beijing's motivation is to channel private money into infrastructure to ease debt burdens on local governments. Asian markets started the week off down. Japan's Nikkei index down more than 3% after a sell-off Friday, and Wall Street gave the S&P 500 its worst weekly loss since February. And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jessica Stone, invested in you.
This year, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is honoring heroes with 200 mortgage-free homes. A never-forget walk, more than 500 miles through 6 states in 42 days, culminating at Ground Zero on 9/11. Tower of Light tributes, names of those lost to 9/11 illness, are being read on September 12th, and names of all lost in the War on Terror are being read on Veterans Day. Donate $11 a month at 2t.org.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
Hi, I'm Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows and Doors in North Fort Myers. And when it comes to hurricane windows and doors, you have 2 choices, Storm Shield and all the rest.
The aesthetics of the appearance from the outside and the inside is just amazing. But it's quiet. It's really quiet inside, and it's made a huge difference in our energy consumption. My name is Dee Channel, and I have 100% confidence in Storm Shield products. On a scale of 1 to 10, they'd be 10 plus.
Yes, my name is Dwayne Channel. My wife and I made a decision to replace our windows. Storm Shield windows, they were the only company that had the hurricane windows that we were looking for. Our best decision we made was purchasing Storm Shield windows.
Storm Shield Windows and Doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%. And our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldSWFL.com.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, 4 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tile roof inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tile roof inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tile roof inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
You've heard it before. We beat the competition. So many businesses say that now. But how many companies actually ask you to call the competition and then compare their windows to Window World windows? We will come into your home, or you can come to our showroom, and we'll give you an honest, fair, free estimate of what it would take to upgrade your windows to more energy-efficient windows. No tricks, no high pressure. We want you happy with your new windows, not feeling like you were forced into buying them.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. We offer you top quality windows at the best price available with the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business.
If something goes wrong with your new windows, we'll fix it, even if the neighborhood kids accidentally hit a baseball through it or anything else. Window World quality windows, great price. Even hurricane-rated impact windows are available to offer an increased level of security to your home. Call Window World today. Window World, simply the best for less.
Today, I'm taking it to the streets to give people the good news. Oh, excuse me, hello. I'm Flo from Progressive, and did you know...
No, I'm just waiting for the bus.
So then you have time to hear about how with Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance.
Yeah, if I was interested in talking to you, which I'm not.
Okay, I'll do the talking, and you just check if you can be saving, which is going to be pretty hard to do if you put on your headphones. Okay.
See if you're paying too much for home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Wink News. Traffic.
Good Monday morning. We've got a crash causing major roadblock and delays along Daniels Parkway westbound right on 75 at that exit ramp taking you closer to Danport Boulevard is where you'll see all those backups building on Daniels Parkway westbound. There's a right lane blocked as well as a center lane and a right-hand turn lane. So traffic is inching by in the left-hand lane out there. If you could avoid the area for the time being, may want to just take Colonial Boulevard out of Lehigh and Gateway instead of taking Daniels Parkway through I-75 westbound. Looking good on the interstate itself, not seeing any major slowdowns on US 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Monday, Southwest Florida. After a muggy start to the day, look for another hot and humid afternoon with the high near 92 degrees and heat index values ranging between 100 to 107 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms develop as we head into this afternoon, winding down later on in the evening with temperatures falling only into the middle 70s overnight. Tomorrow, slightly drier with just some isolated storms. Still another hot day with a high near 93 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling tip for the day. When you call us at 239-482-1542, what you'll get is a warm reception. We'll send out a real NATE-certified expert mechanic who will treat you and your time with respect. Our team will help to inform you of the situation and correct any issues that we find. Our goal is to make sure your experience with our team is a pleasant one and we work very hard every day to meet that goal. Kobe is who we are, and cooling is what we do. But we also know we're nothing without you. Thank you, Southwest Florida, for almost 70 years of trust in our family. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949, serving local Southwest Florida families for almost 70 years.
Every day in business is a big day. Whatever your day brings, Comcast Business can help you handle it with reliable gig speeds and advanced cybersecurity solutions. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Call for details.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. You're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
License number CCC 1333045.
You have hundreds of roofers to choose from, but at Crown Residential Services, we think we're the only choice in Charlotte, Lee, and Collier counties. Crown Residential Services, the highest quality roofs with competitive pricing. Looking to re-roof, repair, or get roof maintenance on your home? Count on Crown for superior craftsmanship and peace of mind. Florida's most trusted roofer, and satisfaction is our goal. Get Crown on it today. Call 855-CROWN55 or online at crownroofing.com.
Are you looking to have built or repaired a shingle, metal, or tile roof? Do you want to hire a company where the owner personally inspects your job and every job? Hello, I'm Jimmy Williamson of WB Williamson Brothers Roofing. If the answer is yes, 844-WB-BUILT. WB Williamson Brothers Roofing represents the fourth generation of a tradition that began with my grandfather back in 1967. And it's a tradition of building something that you can be proud to put your name on. If you need a quote for the construction or repair of a shingle, metal, or tile roof, call me, Jimmy, 844-WB-BUILT, or visit us at 2944 South Street in Fort Myers. Williamson Brothers Roofing also specializes in stand and seam metal roofs and commercial flat roofs. Satisfied clients include Florida Gulf Coast University and Pensacola State College. Call Williamson Brothers Roofing at 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT.
Dr. Svetlana Kogan here, a board-certified internal medicine concierge physician on 5th Avenue South in Naples. Many of you wonder what holistic practice is. Well, good health is like a puzzle. It depends on how you perceive yourself, your environment, what you eat, your relationships, and lifestyle. It takes time and skill for the doctor to put these pieces of the puzzle together for you and come up with solutions customized to your specific needs. Holistic doctors believe that less medication is better and use preventive approach to keep you out of harm's way. This is also a concierge practice. Every patient gets my email and cell phone for emergencies and can be seen the same day if necessary. You are seen by me personally, and we take all the time that you need. You can visit my website, customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com to learn about how I, Dr. Svetlana Kogan, can help you feel healthy and balanced again.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling your home for a premium price, now is the time. You can sell over market value without doing repairs, letting strangers in your home, and you pick the closing date. Learn how for free. No pressure, no obligation. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. GomesMovesHomes.com.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
In a quarter mile, you're going to make a left, okay? We're talking about a left onto Sawtell Boulevard. A wonderful street. I built it with my own two hands. A beautiful street. I know a lot about it. Nobody knows Sawtell like I know Sawtell. You're going to make a left, and if you reach Bernie Sanders, you've gone too far left, okay? If you reach Bernie, you've gone too far.
So, did you see this guy on TikTok? Okay, I don't go on TikTok. My family doesn't go on TikTok. My son doesn't go on TikTok. But somebody was tweeting about this guy who does this Trump impersonation on TikTok, and he was talking about the Trump GPS. Where and he had, I think it's funny only because, well, a lot of it's true, and there's more of it. Maybe I'll play another segment of it later on. But it's funny what he says about the left and the Constitution and other things as well. But I don't know. I love that. So on the heels of what we're told is, Ron DeSantis beats Donald Trump in a straw poll. Well, it was a little bit more to the straw poll. Yeah, Ron DeSantis did, but it was 74% to 71%. And it was about approval of a whole list of people, an approval method as opposed to who would you vote for, period, full stop. A little bit different. But anyway, so I thought that was good stuff. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about when the media decides to, when the left decides to, when politicians decide to tell you that they are going to rush to judgment, that they are going to make a claim that something happened, a death, a horrific situation, somebody dies, they make a horrific situation into something that is strictly political. A homophobic attack, a terrorist attack on a gay pride parade over the weekend. Who would say such a thing? I mean, certainly not a mayor of a city. A politician wouldn't make that claim immediately without knowing the details, and then the media runs with it. They wouldn't. Yeah, they did. And it's par for the course for the media and the left, this rush to judgment. And it does speak volumes a lot about what is happening, not only in the media all the time, but when they get it wrong, they don't apologize, they jump to the conclusion and then leave it out there to fester. And sometimes it festers for too long. And I'll get to that coming up in just a second. All right, Nikki Fried getting completely destroyed on CNN. Did that happen? Yeah. So we have a race for governor in 2022. I'm sure many of you know this. And Nikki Fried certainly has a platform, and we know what it is. It's
marijuana.
Yep, that's it. Everything else, it doesn't matter. That's it. Everybody vote for me, right? It's a little more complicated than that. But she was on CNN, to be able to get her voice out there so people could see her and hear exactly what she has to say, because, the 6 or 7 listeners over the weekend on CNN, I mean, that's pretty much close to the numbers during the week. But I know Mike Opelka was talking about that on Friday on this program. It's like, why do you talk about CNN? It doesn't matter. Nobody's watching. Well, there are a lot of people globally certainly watching. It's in every single airport. And when they're constantly pushing this to their base, to the radicals that are out there, that are listening and watching and hearing what they have to say and kind of cementing what they believe is the right position. Well, it's the left position in this case, but then, yeah, I think it's important. Nikki Fried has to go someplace to get the message out. She wants to convince everybody that her platform is the best platform. And I don't think she was expecting that CNN's Poppy Harlow was going to push her a little bit on some of the issues that she brought up. We're told that Nikki Fried is the front runner here in the state of Florida. We know this because when she first became the agriculture commissioner, it was an imperative that her face be on every gas pump in the state. Who does that? It's almost as if you do that because in the future, that's not really future music. That's more going back in time music. But because in the future that your whole goal here is to run for governor. I mean, that's because you got to get your face out there. Nobody knows who you are. Saying agriculture commissioner in the state of Florida isn't exactly one that you get on the camera often. So you got to do your best to figure out how to make that happen. So here she is on CNN trying to criticize the governor about nursing home policies. Are you sure you really want to go there with this governor? This governor was the first when it comes to understanding the science, following the science. You know, the Fauci didn't follow the science. The CDC kind of sort of was following the science, but then, it's a politically thing. And, everyone else who wanted to tell you they were following the science, but they weren't following the science. This governor was following the science. That's why he made decisions that still people around the country think were the wrong decisions until you actually see how many people want to live here and you see how we're doing business and you see how we are with the numbers per capita. Trying to make the case that the governor, he's awful. Didn't seem like Poppy Harlow at CNN was having any part of it. Listen to this.
You've been very critical of Governor DeSantis' handling of the COVID pandemic. Listen to what he said earlier this spring.
If you look at what's happening in South Florida right now, I mean, this place is booming. It would not be booming if it was shut down.
The data backs it up. I mean, Florida has a 4.8% unemployment rate, well below the national average. The per capita death rate from COVID-19 is 27th, nowhere near the highest. Do you think he deserves credit for that?
Now, where do you think she's going to go?
Marijuana?
Well, no, she's not going to go there yet. I mean, it doesn't pertain to the conversation. It will sooner or later, and it'll pop up. But so where does she go with this? All the evidence shows that he was right. What about it?
No, I don't think he deserves credit.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't deserve credit. No, let her go. Let her go. Let's see. Why doesn't he deserve credit?
He had a very laissez-faire, hands-off approach to COVID. First of all, there was a lack of transparency during the entire pandemic. He had, no information that was coming out of our nursing homes, no information that was coming out of our prisons.
He moved. He was one of the quickest governors to move to lock down the nursing homes, the opposite of what happened here in New York.
Well, the problem was that he also wasn't giving information, and so made orders very confusing to the people of our state. Local governments are the ones that stepped up and took leadership here, and then he dismantled their power along the way. So the people that really should take credit for what is happening here in our state are our local governments.
Even Poppy Harlow was like, what are you talking about? The numbers speak for itself. He was one of the first governors when it comes to nursing homes to understand the threat of COVID and what we had to do with locking them down. And of course, Nikki Fried knows this, but it's going to be all about the personal. Now, she also, and I'll play a little more, she gets into, that the governor didn't care. He wasn't even sympathetic. He could care less about the death. It's the idea and the things that she starts to talk about, like not being empathetic. Well, let her go on, and you'll hear more ridiculousness. At least good for CNN and Poppy Harlow. I have no idea why she's pushing back, unless she loves Charlie Crist, and that's the push. It's like Nikki Fried's never going to beat Governor DeSantis, but Charlie Crist at least has a chance because they still believe in places like New York that Republicans still longingly look at Charlie Crist and think, wouldn't it be? Yeah, they don't have a clue.
Our local businesses that also stepped up, our food stores that made sure that there was social distancing inside of them, the restaurants that made sure that they had the QR codes. So it's the private businesses and our local governments that stepped up. Ron, the entire time, not only was not empathetic towards the people of our state, but was very confusing on the way he was leading our state.
I hear your points on the messaging. I'm just asking you, Commissioner, since you're running to be governor of Florida, about the hard data while Ron DeSantis was and remains governor. And you can't argue that the unemployment rate in Florida right now is half what it is in New York and California.
Yep.
And it is 27th on the list when you look at COVID deaths.
Yep.
My question is, all your criticism of him saying he didn't shut down soon enough, calling for mask mandates statewide, looking at the data, did he have it right and did you have it wrong?
Yes, that's right. Did he have it right and you had it wrong? She said no, obviously. And she goes back to, we didn't do mask mandates. It's really about local governments, mask mandates. This is where people like Nikki Fried, Charlie Crist, others across the country are going to have a really, really tough time. What Anthony Fauci, along with the media and Democrats, did to politicians in 22 is going to be loud and clear. And it took away any ability for them to objectively look at the situation and say the reasons why things happen positively in a place like any of the red states, in Florida, in Texas, in other states, is because Democrats were right about COVID. They were right about the actions that they wanted to take, and these governors were all wrong, and it's quite the opposite. And they didn't do themselves any favor following the Fauci, especially after all the emails and the things we discovered. They're not doing themselves any favor at all. So wait, so there was some more questions for Nikki Fried. Here's the last bit. Check this out.
Commissioner, let me ask you one final question. We'll definitely have you back. I wish we had a lot more time. So you're invited back anytime.
Are you sure about that, though? You wish you had more time with Nikki Fried? Oh, well, there would have been more time for...
marijuana?
Yeah, because we got to get to the platform. Okay, go ahead.
But let me ask you this. I thought it was interesting. I was watching an interview you did recently, and when you launched your campaign, actually, you said this in the announcement, and you said it won't be easy. What do you think your greatest weakness is?
You know, I think my greatest weakness is the fact that right now, Ron is on a platform on the national stage. And so he's getting a lot of national PR. But the greatest, but we are going to take that and turn it into a positive.
They got to take it and turn it into a positive. Listen, we don't have a big stage like Governor DeSantis has, and we don't have a lot of the positive things that are going on in the state that we can back up because we went against everything that he was doing, and that makes us look kind of bad. But we're gonna do everything we can to turn it into a positive. And Poppy Harlow says,
all right. Well, you just had about 7 or 8 minutes on a national platform on CNN, so come back.
Well, you just had 7 or 8 minutes on a national platform, so much for that idea, too. So not only did Poppy Harlow destroy Nikki Fried about talking about the issues of COVID in the state of Florida and trying to make it seem like somehow that Governor DeSantis was Andrew Cuomo, right? To somehow make it look as if there was the issues of nursing homes here in the state of Florida when it came to COVID. And she destroyed that narrative. But also when she says, hey, listen, I don't have a national, I have no national platform. I mean, nobody's paying attention to me. I can't get anybody to listen to me. She's like, well, it's CNN. You got a national platform. Did you know we're in every airport? What are you talking about?
Marijuana?
Got to get back to that. All right, 239-479-5592. Let's take a break. When we come back, a lot to discuss. Critical race theory has been on the minds of a lot of people in the media on the left because you're winning. Because there are parents who are realizing that they don't want their kids indoctrinated. We've talked about this for years. And when people sat back and said, oh, is it really? It's not really. That seems just like crazy talk. That seems like tinfoil hat stuff. Oh, wait. They are? In my school? My kid? Really? Oh, hey, wait a second. In my town? Oh, I got something to say about it now. Okay. I don't want to say better late than never because a lot of damage has already been done. But in this case, I am thankful for people getting off the sideline and in the game. So we'll talk about the latest spin by the media over the weekend about how it's just you crazy conservatives. That's what you're doing. You're just looking for something to racist. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Monday morning. Daniels Parkway is stop and go right now, heading westbound from Treeline Avenue all the way through Danport Boulevard past I-75 because of a crash with injuries. Several vehicles involved, and we've got a lot of emergency vehicles on scene, blocking a right turn lane onto Danport Boulevard and a right and center lane on Daniels westbound right now going through I-75. So if you need to get around that, I would take Colonial Boulevard instead. Just takes you a little more north out of your way. Just plan some extra time on the roads for that. Otherwise, clear on 75 and 41. If you're heading through the Villas area of Lee County as well, we also have a crash we're watching on Woodland Boulevard right at Ellington, causing some slight delays right now, mostly heading eastbound through that intersection. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After a muggy start to the day, look for a hot and humid afternoon with highs near 92 degrees and heat index values between 100 to 107 degrees. Scattered storms developing later on today. As we head into tonight, temperatures will be mild in the middle 70s with a high of 93 degrees for your Tuesday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi has called for a closer look at wealth inequality.
If you've considered remodeling with the help of a contractor or handyman, consider reimagining your space instead with the help of a professional designer from Closet Factory. Our best designers, the ones with black belts in interior design and PhDs in bringing fuzzy ideas to sparkling reality, so your new closet or office looks how you dreamed it would and works even better. Because creating a space that's organized, intelligent, and beautiful starts with a design that's all that, from a designer that's all that. At Closet Factory, that's how we build it.
The top 3 reasons why you should have quartz countertops from Rock Solid.
1.
Quartz countertops are truly elegant, practical, durable, and with Rock Solid's unbelievable price and selection makes for the best overall value.
2.
Quartz countertops from Rock Solid will never stain, are maintenance-free, and carry a lifetime warranty.
3.
Here's Natalie from Naples.
Every time I look at my quartz countertops from Rock Solid, it makes my heart smile.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Just your smile.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune into WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney, Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpets.
Well, we have the Dreamweaver Select, which is this is $3.99 carpet pad and labor, but this has a lifetime warranty for pet stains, abrasive wear, and even for steps, a stair warranty. Nobody's ever had that before.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Hey, guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
When you choose Dr. David C. Brown's Eye Centers of Florida for your family's total eye care needs, you're selecting the most trusted name in eye care physicians. You're also putting your precious sight in the hands of one of the nation's safest surgical centers. Surgicare, long known for excellence. Nothing compares to the expertise and compassion of the first name in total eye care. Dr. David C. Brown's Eye Centers of Florida, now open Saturdays at select locations.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station. 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
He calls himself a defender of human rights. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Iran's president-elect speaking out days after his victory with some choice words for the U.S. amid indirect talks that wrapped up over the weekend with the U.S. trying to rejoin the nuclear deal President Trump pulled out of. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan told Fox News Sunday.
Once we go back into that deal, Chris, the idea is to negotiate a follow-on agreement that will make for a longer and stronger agreement.
So what is Iran's new leader saying? Fox's Simon Owen has details live.
Dave, 3 days after he was elected Iranian president, Ebrahim Raisi has been holding a news conference. He says he will not meet with President Biden, even as the U.S. attempts to revive the Iran nuclear deal. And he says Iran's ballistic missile program is non-negotiable. Raisi is a hardliner and a former judge. He's already under U.S. sanctions for his role in mass executions. He claimed today he was just doing his job, defending his, in his words, human rights. Dave?
Simon, the U.S. is trying to re-engage with North Korea. American envoy Sung Kim is in South Korea for talks, offering to negotiate with North Korean officials anytime, anywhere, without preconditions. Claudette is a tropical storm again.
We expect these gusty winds to be over eastern North Carolina for the next few hours, and the threat should be mostly gone by this afternoon.
Eric Blake at the National Hurricane Center says a few inches of rain could fall, so some areas could flood. Claudette first hit the Gulf Coast and is blamed for 13 deaths in Alabama, 10 of them in a crash during the storm. 8 kids on a bus were killed in a collision with a car. A man and his young daughter died in that vehicle. And also, a man and a 3-year-old were killed when a tree fell on their house. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Monday morning. Daniels Parkway is stop and go right now, heading westbound from Treeline Avenue all the way through Danport Boulevard past I-75 because of a crash with injuries. Several vehicles involved, and we've got a lot of emergency vehicles on scene, blocking a right turn lane onto Danport Boulevard and a right and center lane on Daniels westbound right now going through I-75. So if you need to get around that, I would take Colonial Boulevard instead. Just takes you a little more north out of your way. Just plan some extra time on the roads for that. Otherwise, clear on 75 and 41. If you're heading through the Villas area of Lee County as well, we also have a crash we're watching on Woodland Boulevard right at Ellington, causing some slight delays right now, mostly heading eastbound through that intersection. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
happy Monday, Southwest Florida. After a muggy start to the day, look for another hot and humid afternoon with a high near 92 degrees and heat index values ranging between 100 to 107 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms develop as we head into this afternoon, winding down later on in the evening with temperatures falling only into the middle 70s overnight. Tomorrow, slightly drier with just some isolated storms. Still another hot day with a high near 93 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Had a chance to visit A Locksmith, their showroom in North Naples. And Andrew is the owner. He is a fantastic guy. Get a chance to talk to him. He's a former police officer and an expert on home security. Maybe you have some needs like a safe, a Liberty Safe. They are the only Liberty Safe dealer in Collier County. And I don't know if you know, but A Locksmith is the oldest locksmith in Collier County and comes with a stellar reputation for professional quality and service. Their staff licensed, bonded, and insured and available, and 100% satisfaction is always guaranteed. Their employees are great. No contractors. They have all their employees there, and they are always professional, on time, serving Collier and Southern Lee counties. So if you're looking for your next Liberty Safe, you want to go to A Locksmith. They have two Naples showroom, one in North Naples, across from Mercado, and one in the city of Naples, just north of Mooring Line Drive on US 41. Or if you want to find out more, visit alocksmithnaples.com.
In business, it's never just another day. Every day is the day that could bring your biggest order yet, or a new cyber threat. Whatever the day holds, with Comcast Business, you'll be prepared. With a network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Comcast Business Security Edge to help protect your connected devices, and a dedicated team available 24/7. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Ask how to get up to 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers only. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and autopay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, and subject to change. Security Edge not included. Actual speeds vary.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching at the website. And also, if you're on Facebook, at Drew Steele Radio, if you would like. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit about Meet the Press and Chuck Todd and others who are talking about critical race theory. Hey, if it doesn't exist, if it's not that big a deal, then what's their answer to how many times that they're talking about it lately? Mainstream media outlets, CNN and MSNBC and Meet the Press. It's because they know that they are losing this fight, and they're trying to spin it. And I'm telling you, the spin that they have on this thing right now is ridiculous, or as the kids say, redonkulous. Do the kids say that at all, or is that just some kids in the neighborhood? One kid in particular who just doesn't want to get off my lawn, no matter what I say. Can you step on the sidewalk to get to my front door? Why does it always have to be across my lawn? You know, I never thought I'd be that guy. I never thought I would be the get off my lawn, but I see the error of my ways. I'm starting to see more and more how when people say get off my lawn, it's not because they're grumpy old people. It's because there are sidewalks and driveways that are there for a purpose. And if you step on the lawn too much, it's not even the lawn. It's the landscaping. Because they walk through the landscaping and then there's mulch and things all over the place, and it's totally not where I wanted to go this morning. I'm sorry. This is where I wanted to go with Jake because we talked about this last week. He's been super excited about this. I'm just trying to understand what's going on here. What's this petition now to keep Bezos in space? Jeff Bezos, we're up to how many now?
It's like 47, 48, something like that.
Yeah, it's like over 45,000 people have signed a petition. calling what? I've signed petitions calling to prevent Jeff Bezos from returning to Earth when he goes up there with his brother into the Blue Origin rocket ship going into space. You know, the passengers that are there with him paid $28 million to join him. And I just think it's funny because Jake was talking about this. He loves it. He thinks it's hysterical. I just don't understand how are you gonna do this? By the way, there was a video. I can't even show it because I'm not sure if there's any cussing or anything in it. But Jeff Bezos being heckled. Like on YouTube, there's videos of there's no love here for Jeff Bezos. You would think that the Amazon world, the way it runs, that everybody would be all about Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin and getting people out into space. And I have to ask. Well, he's on the phone right now, but I have to ask him. I'm trying to understand what this petition is going to do. You really think there's going to be enough people that are going to? Okay. It's a change.org petition. And it was Zero Hedge that was saying over 18,500 signatures also were up there saying Jeff Bezos is actually Lex Luthor disguised as a supposed owner of a super successful online retail store. He's actually an evil overlord hell-bent on global domination. 18,000 people signed that on change.org. Like, what are you doing? Can you explain that to me? Jake, what do you all think? I mean, you're just going along because you think it's funny. But there are people who, do you know, are you friends with people who actually think that Jeff Bezos is going to be left out there in space?
I mean, he should be.
What? All right.
There shouldn't be two billionaires fighting to get to space. There shouldn't be.
Why not? That's interesting. Why not? Why shouldn't there be 2
because
billion?
People are starving and dying all over the world, and they're worried about going to space whenever there's a bunch of stuff that they could be doing here.
Oh, all right. So they should be spending their billions feeding folks.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, what are you saying?
They can take that money and do other things.
Do other things? Okay.
Benefit us a little bit more than going to space and looking at stars and stuff.
Well, if they got all this money, then they can they do both? I mean, they got a lot of money. If they have enough money to do the whole space thing, they could probably afford to take some of the other cash that they have to do. So they could do both. They can be doing all of this at the same time.
I mean, if they wanted to, clearly they can do whatever they want. So,
Boy, he's bitter this morning. I know. I have no idea why Jake's so bitter this morning. He is just not a smiling man. That's all right. Maybe it's because he's tired of the whole critical race theory fight that's been going on. Listen, there's a big spin going on. Big spin on critical race theory. And how you are really just a bunch of Trump-loving, tinfoil hat-wearing, lawn-screaming, get off of my lawn people. I just had to add that one in. Are individuals defined by race and not character? Is America systemically racist? To the point where everything has to be dismantled and taken away. Constitution, Bill of Rights, our founders, all racists, all white. And so, by default, everything about this country has to be destroyed, torn down, and rebuilt in another image that is not where we are now. Equality of opportunity means nothing, only equality of results that matters. How many of you believe this? There are many people who believe it and are teaching it. And remember again about CRT, and I'm going to get to the audio from Meet the Press in just a second. Teaching critical race theory is not, hey, we're going to teach our kids about racism. That's all it is. It's about teaching about racism and slavery and our past and how there are white people that just don't want you to know. No, it's not true at all. It's not teaching about it and about slavery and about critical race theory. It's the teachings that are in the theories of it. Do you see the difference? It's not like critical race theory is fill in the blank. This is what some people believe. And now we move on to math. No, it doesn't work that way. It's about how everything is inherently racist. And if you're white, you're the problem. And they're teaching in the idea of teaching in critical race theory that it exists. And so it has to be taught in that way. So what was the spin this weekend? So there was one member of the panel from PBS, the PBS NewsHour, and she's recognizing and seeing what a lot of other people are noticing around the country. It's not just here in Southwest Florida. It's not just here in the state. It's across the country. People are worried because you're winning, because you're right. I might say all along. See what I did there? I know I need hold on. Thank you. Okay. All right, here we go. Here's what she said. PBS NewsHour. This is on Meet the Press over the weekend.
Yeah, and specific to this idea of critical race theory, I have to tell you, I just spent some time reporting on this county in Virginia, about an hour outside of Washington. And to your point, this is something that is mobilizing people and resonating very deeply. It was about a 100-degree day. Dozens and dozens and dozens of parents, mostly white in this largely affluent county, showed up to a school board meeting. For many of them, the very first school board meeting they'd ever attended, specifically because of this one issue.
May have been the first they ever attended, specifically because of this issue. They're going to make it sound as if it's because they're scared, because we keep talking about it, and because we're frightening people, when it's quite the opposite. That the left and the media in this country are very, very worried and concerned about this, that you're starting to wake up, you're starting to realize, many of you already knew this, but like she said, there are people that are mobilizing. It resonates because it's our kids, because we do care about the future of the country. We do care about how they are taught. And now listen to the spin. So there was somebody who was, I don't know if it was a GOP pollster. So you have a GOP pollster, you have this PBS NewsHour reporter, and then you have a Democrat pollster, all on Meet the Press. And Chuck Todd chiming in because he thinks it's all imagined. It's all made up. This is all something that doesn't exist. It's just in your conservative heads, and you're just trying to find Trump. And it's all something that you just can't even Trump. No, I'm not kidding. That's how the argument goes. Listen.
You mentioned critical race theory a couple times. This is a parent-led backlash at the grassroots level.
It's manufactured.
No,
and
it's completely.
And then sort of
elected
seems to have been lit. The fire was lit.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I think it started because
that's Chuck Todd, by the way, arguing. No, it was lit. This whole thing was lit by Trump supporters and QAnon and Republicans, and it's all the same. No. People have realized that this is happening, and they see it in the schools. And again, like I said, if you have a district here in Southwest Florida, and I've heard of many schools doing this where teachers, and I've heard many teachers are doing this. Maybe if you're a teacher listening, you're not doing this. You haven't done this. But if you know somebody that's doing it, maybe you should call them out for doing it. Hearing plenty of people that have been emailing and telling me stories about how they line the kids up, elementary school kids, others lining them up, having the white kids walk 2 steps ahead, the black and Hispanic kids walk 1 step back and say, this is what it's all about. This is how you're oppressed if you're a person of color, and you're never going to be able to get ahead because whites are always going to be here. And let's dig into this. If that's happened in your school, that's critical race theory. It's being taught. But anyway, let it go on.
Parents have had it with the education bureaucracy after COVID. They're fed up with it. They tend to trust Democrats when it comes to education funding, but they trust Republicans on education accountability. I think that what the backlash you're seeing on critical race theory in schools is another example of parents trying to hold educators accountable.
Yeah, trying to hold educators accountable. If you listen to this, I guess a GOP pollster talking about how, they trust keeping schools accountable, Republicans do, but Democrats, it's about funding. Yeah, well, what are Democrats trying to fund when it comes to public schools? What are they funding? They're funding all the things that we're fighting against. So there's some truth there. All right, so what's next? Is this the Democrat pollster here?
Coordinated, it's aggressive, it's intentional, right? This is part of the tribalism play. The critical race theory is yet another tool in the racial tribal boogeyman's toolbox to drive and inflame tribalism, which Republicans thinks helps them in elections.
Okay, yeah, the Democrat pollster, that's all it is. It's just another boogeyman. It's this tribal idea that everybody's in their tribe and you can't leave, and we got to have something to fight against everybody, and it's all made up. Hey, at least he's not saying anything about Trump, right? I guess
this is Trump 2.0.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Just let him go. Okay.
This is a continuation of this, right? Critical race theory is an arcane sort of ideal. Why is it front and center right now? The same reason that Mitch McConnell attacked Stacey Abrams when she came out for the voting bill. It is racial. It is tribalism. We've seen it grow under Trump, and this is part and parcel of it.
I gotta just stop. So the argument that you're crazy for bringing up this idea of critical race theory, that it's in our schools, that we've seen it prevalent in our schools, that it is being taught, not critical race theory being taught, but the idea that it exists, it's in our schools, it's happening, and it's just the way it is, period, full stop. And that's how kids are being taught, where we recognize it and we see it and it's real and tangible, and we have examples of how it's real and tangible. This Democrat pollster who's on Meet the Press is doing everything they can to make you go into all kinds of directions like Trump 2.0, Trump's bad, you're a racist for thinking this way, Mitch McConnell, Stacey Abrams, voting rights, they're racists as well when it comes to Mitch McConnell and Republicans trying to stop blacks from voting, and this is what they've done across the country. But he doesn't do the one most important thing that everybody wants to hear. What's your evidence that it doesn't exist? What's your evidence to show us that what we're saying is wrong? All they do is keep coming up with these words and these sentences and the tribalism and racism, and then going in another direction and pulling straw man and pulling all these different places and things and hyperbolic statements, but they never come up with a foundational idea as to why we're wrong. Notice that? In that whole thing, there wasn't one answer as to why we're wrong and they're right. Because they know that we're right, and they can't do anything but spin it. And they're on the run. Politically, they are on the run, and the media is trying to help. And it's sad to see, but you are winning. And we're not going away. And this is that moment in time where, you know, you've ever wanted to push back against the left in this country and the ideology. If there's, I mean, who's more important than your kids? Who's more important than your family? So if you're ever going to push back, this is the issue, and this is the time. And you're winning. 239-479-5592. All right. When we come back, listen, the world's going to crumble, and we're all going to die. And it's going to happen because climate change. And all the 18 to 34-year-olds across the globe believe, like Greta Thunberg believes, that it's politicians' fault, it's government's fault, it's probably a Republican conservative fault as well that we're all going to die, and we have to do something. Is that really the case? Oh, you might be interested to find out that there's some 18 to 34s that are saying, yeah, no, we don't want to do what you've been asking us to do. We're kind of pushing back. Wait till you hear this story on climate change, considering that It was 15 years ago today that Matt Lauer made the prediction on the Sci-Fi Network that it's all our problem, and if we don't do something right away, we're all going to die. Kind of like the Al Gore way of thinking. So we'll get to some of that coming up. Plus, Bill Maher talking a little bit about how the left is crazy. Yeah, he did it again this weekend. We don't get too crazy about Bill Maher as well, because 90% of the show is bashing you and conservatives and Republicans. But then there's this little nugget of truth that pops out every once in a while. And it's really the most important nugget that I can't believe I'm using Bill Maher. Okay, anyway, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I'll have the audio coming up, right? All along with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Monday morning. Daniels Parkway is stop and go right now, heading westbound from Treeline Avenue all the way through Danport Boulevard past I-75 because of a crash with injuries. Several vehicles involved, and we've got a lot of emergency vehicles on scene, blocking a right turn lane onto Danport Boulevard and a right and center lane on Daniels westbound right now going through I-75. So if you need to get around that, I would take Colonial Boulevard instead. Just takes you a little more north out of your way. Just plan some extra time on the roads for that. Otherwise, clear on 75 and 41. If you're heading through the Villas area of Lee County as well, we also have a crash we're watching on Woodland Boulevard right at Ellington, causing some slight delays right now, mostly heading eastbound through that intersection. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After a muggy start to the day, look for a hot and humid afternoon with highs near 92 degrees and heat index values between 100 to 107 degrees. Scattered storms developing later on today. As we head into tonight, temperatures will be mild in the middle 70s with a high of 93 degrees for your Tuesday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Inside the train testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests to ensure they can run through anything. And when we say torture, we don't take that lightly. We drop them, slam them against the wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. Without fail. Drop, slam, shake, silence. Drop, slam, shake, silence. And there's no end in sight. We test, so it runs.
Things are heating up, and you may notice that old AC system just isn't keeping up like it used to. It's time for you to get the Purified experience. Visit purifiedac.com to get special financing on a new system installation. Subject to credit approval, see dealer for details. Purified Air also offers free estimates and 24/7 emergency service so you can have the Purified experience when you need it the most. Visit purifiedac.com to get the Purified experience for yourself. That's purifiedac.com, license number CAC 1817070.
It's hard to stop a train.
We'll buy your car today, on the spot, and pay you $500 more than anyone else. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. 4 days only. Market conditions and a record month have caused a massive demand for your used vehicle, allowing Sutherland to pay more than ever for trade-ins. Up to 130% book value and $500 more than any other written offer. No purchase necessary. Sutherland Nissan will buy your car outright. You don't need to buy one of our cars. Bring your vehicle to Sutherland and get paid up to 130% value today. Hurry, this event ends 7 p.m. Sunday. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Nobody in Florida pays you more for your old car than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line. See, here's another reason why you can't launch Jeff Bezos into space and not have him return. Because look, for $15 on Amazon, you can get some kind of device that stops you from hiccuping. See, look at this. So they've got some scientists came up with a product that cures the hiccups. And I'm looking at a picture of it, and it's interesting looking. And it's supposed to put pressure that repositions your diaphragm enough to stop hiccups immediately. Now, if you're wondering what a device looks like for $15 that repositions your diaphragm to stop you from hiccuping, you probably don't want it. I'm telling you, if you would like to know, go to drewsteele.com, the website, right now. And on the break, just for the people that are watching, I will tell you the surefire 100% way to get rid of hiccups. It works every time. It amazes my friends and family every time I tell them to do it. So we just watch the feed and you'll get to see it coming up. Even Jake is like, I got to watch.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Jason and Todd with the Diamond District are giving you a free pair of 1-carat total weight diamond stud earrings this weekend only with your purchase of a Veragio engagement or wedding ring priced at $2,500 or more during their Veragio Trunk Show. Jason and Todd are also offering 12 months interest-free financing.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialist can handle any AC repair. Call 855 1 Hour for $50 off your repair.
All right, I'm gonna wait for people to join the feed. When we go to the bottom of the hour commercials or whenever you can, Jake, you come in here and you'll demonstrate it for me. I'll explain to you what to do and you stand here and Jake doesn't have the hiccups, but I want him to. So when I tell him what to do, you come in here and just stand so that people can watch you. And I will explain how to do it and you will be cured of the hiccups. It works every time. It's 99.9% effective. It doesn't have to do with what Jake talked about, drinking out of the other side of the glass. It's not a trick where you're going to spill drinks into your lap or anything like that. It's not some really wacky looking thing, straw, or whatever this thing. I got it. It'll work. So just stand by. Tell your friends to get around the TV or your phone. So I'll wait till the break comes up. All right, and while we're waiting, I'm gonna move the microphone out of the way. All right, while we're waiting, go ahead. Let's find out who's here, who's watching right now. If you're on your smart device, smartphone, if you're on your computer, just do it here. We're just doing a roll call, and let's find out who's watching this morning. Where are you? Are you here? Let's see. Roll call. Just say here, whether you're on YouTube, if you're on the channel, or if you're on Facebook. So let's see. All right, Melissa, you're first to say hi. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for paying attention. All right, Ken's here. Ken, good morning. Good to see you here. Jeff, and maybe even if you want to tell us where you're from, too, if you're from out of town. All right, Michael Evans is here. Good morning, Michael Evans. Good to see you. JB is here. Good to see you. Ed, good morning. Ed is here as well. Florentina. Good morning, Florentina. Philo. Hi, Buckshot. I don't know what that means. Are you saying hi to somebody else? All right, Jane is here. Good morning, Jane. Doug is here. Good morning, Doug. Donna's here. Good morning. Mike is here. Good morning. Richard's here. Good morning. Sandy's here. Good morning. Jeff is here in Naples, from Naples. All right, you ready? All right, so here's Jake. All right, so hold on. There's more people we have to say good morning to. Good morning to Night Owl 2129. Good morning, Dawn of MAGA. Good morning, Jude. Good to see you, Tail Dragger from Nofo. Florentina's in Venice. Phil's in Uboob. What's Uboob? Long Island. I don't know. All right. Debbie's here. Christine is here from La Belle. All right. You ready, Jake? Yeah. All right, here we go. So, Jake is going to demonstrate how to get rid of hiccups. So, I'm going to explain. He's going to do it. He doesn't have hiccups, but just so you know, this is the cure for hiccups. Okay. So, Jake, here's what you do. You take a breath. Hold it. Count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Swallow, but hold your breath. Don't hold your nose. Don't hold your nose. Just swallow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and swallow. Don't keep holding your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, swallow, and then let it out. That's it.
Hiccup gone.
That's it. Hiccup's gone.
Now I wonder, how do I get the hiccups on purpose?
How do you what?
How do I get them on purpose so I can actually test it?
Oh, yeah, we have to get somebody who's, that's true, I forgot about that part. All right, somebody who's had the hiccups or having the hiccups, can you test it out and see if it works? Because that was just weird. And then we'll, all right. But yeah, nobody here has the hiccups. Anybody have the hiccups?
I need to go do something.
All right.
Fast, I guess.
If you get the hiccups, use it. You'll be shocked and amazed. All right, see you in a bit.
Dan Martineau from DR Martineau Roofing. Storm season is approaching. Avoid complications with your insurance company. Sign up for our free pre-season and post-season roof assessment plan. Just Google DRM Roofing.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is DR Martineau.
Dr. Shane Walker here at Thrive Chiropractic and host of the Wellness Hour on 92.5 Fox News for nearly 20 years. And let's face it, many of us are really stressed right now, and that is creating an increase in the number of folks who are dealing with neck pain, headaches, tension across the upper mid-back, anxiety and nervousness. And if you haven't experienced the release of tension that a chiropractic adjustment can produce within your nervous system, go to thrivenaples.com. That's Thrive, Thrive, Naples.com for a special offer. That's thrivenaples.com.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, managing partner and CEO of Key City Capital. My family and I are putting down roots right here in Southwest Florida and are so happy to be a part of this community. We hope to meet you out at one of the country clubs or walking the town center or out on one of the beautiful beaches or parks. So why are we Key City Capital here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments without any risk of loss to your principal and without all the work of collecting rent or worrying about stock market volatility, call us today at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. Or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
I've been asked, did you plan on becoming the largest injury law firm in the world? And the answer is no. We set out to be focused on our clients and to have a commitment to trying cases and winning. And when you have those results at trial, you're able to settle most of your cases quickly and fairly. Hard work and client satisfaction was our plan. It worked. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
In 3 big, beautiful quarters of a mile, we're going to make a U-turn, okay? We're going to make a U-turn, turn around, or as Jen Psaki likes to say, we're going to circle back, okay? We're going to make the U-turn, the greatest U-turn the world has ever seen at Corpus Christi Drive, and we're going to turn it around faster than the world has ever seen. We're rerouting, or as I like to call it, lost, okay? We've got no clue where we are. We are more lost than a liberal after reading the Constitution. We're more lost than Sleepy Joe after leaving his basement, but we're going to get there soon, believe me.
Come on, that's good. That's some guy on TikTok who does Trump impersonations, and he was saying, this is the Trump GPS. That's pretty funny. I'm sorry.
We are more lost than a liberal after reading the Constitution.
You got to admit, that's funny. Oh, man.
Where can I buy it? Is it a thing?
No, the guy. I don't know. Some guy on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok. Somebody tweeted it out, and then I watched. I don't know the guy's name. I don't know anything about it. I just watched this. I mean, I could find it for you. But I guess I'm assuming if he's a guy on TikTok, then that means that he has, what, a whole channel? And he probably does 1 billion of these things, right?
Carmine Monsino's got a TikTok. I saw it the other day.
Well, lots of people have TikTok.
Lee County Sheriff's Office, they have a bunch of videos.
Right. And they, it's look, if that's where everybody is, you got to go where they're at. Right? That's what people say. And so I get it. It's not my thing. I'd rather watch.
You want to make a TikTok? We can make one.
But what are we going to do?
Daybreak.
And just have me going, making faces and.
You know what we do?
What?
We have you walking through the hallway saying hi to people and see who says hi back.
Ooh. Oh. Wait.
And then I can like creepily hold a camera in the background.
Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Well, this sounds a little more interesting now. So that would be what walk through the never mind. I don't even want to get into. No, I don't think I want to do that.
No, probably.
Nope. 239-479-5592. Keep the number handy because coming up, we're going to do Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you can write, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. That's on the way. All right, I got to find this. Oh, man. Because there was a teacher. I thought I saved it. I'm scrolling, and now I can't find it. Oh, come on. It was a teacher that was trying to explain why he wants to teach critical race theory. And it's funny because we're told that it's not happening, that there is a critical race theory is not being taught in schools. But then there was a teacher on TikTok explaining exactly why critical race theory is being taught in schools and why it has to be. And here's my reasons why. And he did a TikTok. And because, I should have paid more attention to it. All right, well, it's gone. I'll see if I'm making myself dizzy. I'll see if I can find it coming up. All right, what do you want to do first? I'll leave it up to Jake. Do you want to do Brian Stelter on CNN getting totally wrecked on C-SPAN because he decided to open up the phone lines and it's not what you want to do? If you're somebody that works for CNN, even if you're going to someplace like C-SPAN that isn't like filled with conservative viewers, or do you want to go to Bill Maher and how he's calling for Democrats to apologize when it comes to woke? Which one do you like better? That's a tough one. I know. It's tough.
Probably when they open up the phone calls.
Yeah. All right. Let's do that. Actually, I'm messing around with Jake. We're going to do both. Okay. Don't tell him. Can you hear me?
What was that?
Don't tell him. We're doing both. All right. So Brian Stelter, and you probably watched. We're kidding. Nobody watches Brian Stelter's show, but he's on the weekends. And really, his whole program is about bashing conservatives, bashing talk radio, bashing Fox News. Because when you really have no life, nothing else to do on your program, and you're trying to make a point to the 6 or 7 people that do watch, that are big lefties, there's only a couple of choices. And really, who are we fooling? That's the only choice. You got to bash Fox and this program and others. Talk radio in general. But anyway. So he goes on to C-SPAN. C-SPAN has him on because, hard-hitting journalism. Well, they couldn't find any. So they have Brian Stelter on. And they decided to open up the phone lines. Listen, you want to talk to Brian Stelter, right? Isn't that one of the things that C-SPAN is famous for when they have authors on or they have the media on? They'll say, hey, well, let's open up the phones and see what you guys think or want to ask. All right, so here is when C-SPAN opened up the phone lines for Brian Stelter. Hilarity ensues.
Asked Brian to, on national television, admit he and his network are a bunch of liars about Donald Trump.
Kevin in Princeton, Indiana. Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Stelter is the biggest minister of misinformation I have ever heard, and I'm a news junkie. He made the statement just a few minutes ago that he is all the stories are always evolving. Yeah, his stories absolutely evolve.
Brian Stelter.
Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it.
Savannah, Georgia. Rick, good morning. You're next.
Yes, I was just wondering if you still feel like Michael Avenatti is the greatest thing in the world and should run for president of the United States. And
funny.
my suggestion is whatever CNN says, do the opposite and you'll be fine.
Aurora, Indiana. This is Robert. Good morning. You're on with Brian Stelter.
CNN is just something it's a joke. It's a joke. This guy tells more lies, and Fox gives more news than CNN does in their...
What lie? What lie did I tell?
2 years.
Come on, that's funny. You open up the phone lines and hilarity ensues, and that's what happens on C-SPAN with Brian Stelter. That's good stuff. So is that how you wanted to open the segment, with a little bit of hilarity? Okay, you got it. Does that make you feel better?
I mean, they weren't lying. Did anyone lie during that?
No, not at all. Nope, not at all. Jake needed a little bit of that. It's funny enough, we were talking off the air. We talk off the air and basically then it goes on the air because we're an open book. You're rested. And for some reason, because you're more rested on a Monday than you've been, you're feisty. Is that how you typically are when you're rested? Didn't know that.
I think I just got too much sleep.
That's what I just said. You mean too much. You overdid it.
That's what it seems like.
I didn't think you could
You ever
do
be
that.
like overly awake? Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
It is just you. That's okay. We're moving on. All right. Let's go to, let's see. What else do we have here? I guess I just wanted to touch on this quickly. When Meet the Press has a Republican on, when any of the media outlets has a Republican on, you can almost be guaranteed that that person is going to say something that is going to agree with whatever the leftists, the Democrats, the communists, the social, all the same, whatever they believe. You can pretty much guarantee that they're bringing somebody on that's a Republican to show that, Republicans, they're going to have to go along with what this administration wants to do. And if you think that every Republican's bad, no, there's some good ones out there. I think there's 11 Republicans that don't want to see the infrastructure deal die and that are committed. And this is why everybody has to get on board. And that's what they did this weekend. Senator Rob Portman on Meet the Press. Listen to this.
There are many Democratic activists whispering in the White House's ear going, don't trust the Republicans. Mitch McConnell's going to pull the rug out from under them, and suddenly you think you have 11 Republicans, and then the deal dies or this is being dragged out. How committed is this group of 11 Republicans to sticking by this deal, even if Mitch McConnell says he can't vote for it?
Right. So Mitch McConnell is evil and he's bad, and Republicans are bad by default, and so the infrastructure deals, and we got to spend trillions, and Republicans want to, if you're going to spend money on infrastructure, make it about infrastructure. But really what the administration, what the left wants to do, Democrats in this country, is they want to have a victory, but they really want to have a crazy amount of spending going on. They want you more and more dependent on that cash from the government. They want more and more of you to sit on your couch and depend on the government sending you money so that you can stay and do what you really want to do, which is to kind of hang out. Remember Nancy Pelosi? That's really what people want to do. They just want to be able to live their lives and do whatever they want to do. And sometimes we have to help them by giving them cash so they can sit on the couch and figure out, hey, I don't really feel like doing anything. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of places I could be going back to work after COVID, but I don't really feel like it because the government's paying, which is this enormously detrimental idea that the government should be competing in the free market arena when it comes to jobs. Like, how could you possibly compete? And that, fine quality diapers are infrastructure. All of these different things that we're trying to have you believe that the Democrats really want to spend money. And now you got Rob Portman, a Republican, who's trying to say, hey, listen, we got Republicans on board with this. They really want infrastructure.
I think we're absolutely committed to it. And I think there's a number of others as well on both sides of the aisle. Last week, I heard from a lot of my colleagues saying, I just need to look at one other issue. Can you do this? Can you do that? But there's a lot of interest in having a bipartisan proposal. And Chuck, this is growing the vote from the middle out. So yes. I think, unfortunately, that's where we are right now in Congress, is that it's...
All right, now wait. This is where it gets dangerous, everybody. Listen.
It's more likely we'll have success in doing that. You recall at the end of last year, we did the same thing with regard to a COVID-19 package, which helped to get that final package done at the end of the year.
Yeah, we did it. We came together in that final COVID package, and how detrimental were certain things in that COVID package? How much money is sitting out there on the sidelines? I hear there's trillions that still hasn't been spent. It's going to be spent for another time. Really? And so what you're saying is we didn't need it now, and we need it in the future, but we had to spend it now. Do you see how Rob Portman thinks? How could you agree with Democrats on that? Oh, and by the way, he goes on to say that it helps President Biden keep the pledge of having an infrastructure package, but also to keep his pledge of doing things across the aisle and getting something done. Why are you into helping the president keep a pledge of having an infrastructure package when you understand that in that infrastructure package are things that are detrimental to the economy, to jobs, to what we are trying to accomplish, and the money that we don't have to spend? How do you go along with that? I just wanted to touch on what was said over the weekend when it comes to infrastructure. Listen, it's critical race theory and a lot of other things, including the truth. It's a tough battle. It's a tough battle for us. We are kind of the counterculture right now. Republicans are, conservatives are. We're the ones that are pushing back against critical race theory. No, it's not happening. You're just a bunch of tinfoil. Really? January 6th, the FBI had nothing to do with anything going on. Really? There's some more evidence to show that there was a little bit of FBI involvement in January 6th and how, listen, if there are people that are infiltrated January 6th and some of these awful groups that we're told about, Oath Keepers and others and the Proud Boys and everything, why is it that we don't hear any of those leadership of Oath Keepers and Proud Boys? How come they're not in a jail someplace? How come they're not arrested and convicted, but yet we have a lot of other people that have been or are sitting in jails, and the question of what's going on with that, and if the FBI was around during all of this and they've kind of infiltrated these groups because supposedly domestic terrorism is the one thing that we have to be concentrating on, and if we're really concerned about that, then you would assume that the FBI would be probably infiltrating these groups to kind of keep an eye on them. Then wouldn't you imagine that if they do that, then the big question would be, why would you allow a January 6th to happen? Wouldn't you imagine that if there were people that were embedded and knew this was going to happen, isn't the purpose of being embedded and finding out about quote unquote terrorism that's happening so that you can stop it before it actually takes place? Like you've connected all the dots and realized that January 6th something is going to happen because you're embedded, and what you want to do is stop it from happening. Doesn't that make sense? Aren't you about stopping it? But yet it happened. So there's a lot of unanswered questions. The truth is a hard thing to find, but good for a lot of people, including you listening, who question people who say they have a truth about it. It's their truth, not the truth, and questioning, when do we get the actual facts? Because we're not going away. Good. You and I and others not going away. Yeah, there's a story about that, too, about the facts and the truth about stories, especially when you consider that it's a possibility that over the weekend something tragic, horrific happened. And instead of waiting for all the facts to come out, that the that certain politicians decided to, let's just say, rush to judgment along with the media. Happened at a Florida Pride Parade. Was it an attack or an accident? Well, we come to find out what it is now, because if you wait, you get the truth. If you jump to a conclusion, then you come up with something completely different. We'll talk about that coming up. All right, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. It's the Monday edition, which is the same as every other day's edition. It's just Monday. So if you want to play, 239-479-5592. Caller number 5 right now. We'll play Drew's College next. And you'll win, you'll play. Let's have some fun coming up on Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell introduced the original cookies and cream ice cream. So every time you dig into that familiar creamy vanilla ice cream that's loaded with chunks of chocolate cream cookies, you can say thanks. You're more than welcome.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Super Targets and Walgreens.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1712. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1712. That's 800-575-1712. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey Suncoast, get ready to explore big life by going tiny. Great American Tiny House Show is June 26th and 27th at Bradenton Area Convention Center. Tour tiny houses on and off wheels, plus schoolies. Talk to experts about the difference tiny living makes in their lives. Learn to reduce, reuse, recycle. Get your tickets online now at greatamericantinyhouse.show. Coming this weekend, June 26th and 27th at Bradenton Area Convention Center. Get your tickets now at greatamericantinyhouse.show.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Mike. Mike is on the line with us right now. Good morning, Michael.
Good gravy, horribly bad Democrat.
Oh, boy, that's right. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD there in Cape Coral. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Mike, who was the president of the United States in the year 2003?
That would be George H. Bush. No, George W. Bush. What am I thinking? Sorry.
What are you saying? It's George. It's George W. Bush. You got it. I'll take your second answer because it's a Monday. All right, you got associates. We'll see if we get a bachelor's degree on this question. Now, how many years was FDR president? How many years was FDR president?
Is this a multiple choice?
No, you don't get multiple choice. You know this.
All right.
I don't know if you know this or not. That's the point of the game.
9 years?
That was 12. 12 years. He was president for 12 years. All right, well, let's see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain silent. What is that called? It's actually based on a SCOTUS ruling from 1966 in a case versus Arizona. And the right to remain silent is called the what rights?
Dragnet rights? No, Miranda rights.
Miranda rights, that is correct. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. In 1774, the First Continental Congress met. 1774, First Continental Congress, they met in what city? Was it New York, Philadelphia, or Washington?
I'll say Philadelphia.
That is correct, sir. What a guess. I mean, you knew all the time. Congratulations there, Mike. Good job. So you ended up getting a master's degree. You only messed up on one tiny little small thing that nobody even noticed because nobody was listening, so don't even worry about it.
So actually, I was not right all along.
You know what? If you say so, I didn't want to admit that, but hey, listen, I'm so glad you played today. Thanks so much, Mike, there in Cape Coral. You're quite the... thanks so much. He's gone. Okay. What? He did a good job today. It's Monday.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
It's not the Republican Party versus the Democrat Party.
Talking about what matters.
It's the Republican Party versus an organized crime syndicate.
92.5 Fox News. 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station. 92.5 Fox News.
Claudette's hitting another state. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and it's a tropical storm again this morning, moving over North Carolina before moving out to sea.
Another inch or two of rain over eastern North Carolina during the next few hours, and they could cause some isolated flash flooding.
Eric Blake at the National Hurricane Center. Claudette's blamed for 13 deaths in Alabama, 10 in a wreck during heavy rain in the storm.
Among the victims, a 29-year-old father and his 9-month-old daughter, and 8 girls ranging in age from 4 to 17 years old from the Papusa Girls Ranch, returning home in a van after a week in Gulf Shores.
As Lee Peck with Fox 10 TV, a tornado hit Naperville, Illinois late last night, damaging about 130 homes.
There were people that were trapped in the house that was really leveled by the wind damage. They were able to be rescued very quickly by fire companies.
Fire Chief Mark Pucknitis, there were a handful of injuries, but many power outages. There's a search in Lynn County, Iowa, for whoever shot and wounded a sheriff's deputy during a store robbery last night. They'll continue trying to find a compromise this week on infrastructure. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live at the White House.
Dave, after weeks of wrangling, President Biden could respond to a new bipartisan proposal as soon as today. It calls for $1.2 trillion in spending on core infrastructure over 8 years. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham told Fox News Sunday,
"We're willing to add more new money to infrastructure in this package."
Independent Senator Bernie Sanders expressed concern about how to pay for it on Face the Nation on CBS.
Some of the speculation is raising a gas tax, which I don't support, a fee on electric vehicles.
The plan is about a fourth of what President Biden originally proposed. Dave?
Rachel, Iran's newly elected president, said today he will not meet with President Biden or negotiate over its ballistic missile program while demanding the U.S. lift sanctions amid an American attempt to rejoin the international nuclear deal Iran has been violating. America's listening to Fox News.
Panera Favorites.
Good Monday morning. Daniels Parkway and I-75 seeing major backups right now in Fort Myers because of a crash at Daniels and Danport Boulevard with 3 lanes still blocked off heading westbound. The westbound delays are going all the way back past JetBlue Park right now from Gateway Boulevard through JetBlue, then continuing toward Treeline Avenue, I-75, and into Fort Myers near Danport Boulevard. So avoid the area if you can. Reroute yourself to Colonial Boulevard. Colonial westbound's also moving slow at this time. So if you can just avoid the area for the time being, definitely a good idea. or plan extra time out in that spot on the roads. Looking good along 41. We're not seeing any major problems. 75 is backed up southbound approaching Daniels Parkway as well, heading from Colonial Boulevard on down. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea, Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Monday, Southwest Florida. After a muggy start to the day, look for another hot and humid afternoon with a high near 92 degrees and heat index values ranging between 100 to 107 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms develop as we head into this afternoon, winding down later on in the evening with temperatures falling only into the middle 70s overnight. Tomorrow, slightly drier with just some isolated storms. Still another hot day with a high near 93 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency or storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts up to 30%. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Back or neck pain is not just unpleasant, it can be debilitating, preventing you from performing your daily routine and even confining you to bed. In decades past, patients suffering from spinal issues were often just given pain medication, spinal injections, and, when they did not heal, often underwent spinal surgery. Luckily, there is now another option, non-surgical spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, we use an advanced technology to apply a completely safe unloading force to relieve nerve compression associated with bulging herniated discs, sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, neuropathy. This award-winning approach, safe for any age, has gained international praise from physicians for its success. Complete pain relief is achievable. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
It makes sense. Improving that room in your home starts with improving the person designing it. While an experienced contractor is probably a step up from you and the tool store person, a step beyond is an expert closet factory designer. Your designer combines interior design, a deep knowledge of materials and construction, and the ability to read homeowners like a gypsy, which means a real room changer, because creating a better space starts with better design from a better designer. At Closet Factory, that's how we build it.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Lusk, Dresites, and Talisano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk, Dresites, and Talisano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit ldtlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk, Dresites, and Talisano. ldtlaw.com.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high-rate credit cards, car loans, or other high-interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. That's the talk and text line. Streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. You can go there and watch this very program as I speak to you on your phone, on your smart device, on your computer. And you can go to Facebook as well, at Drew Steele Radio, if you would like. Hey, I hope everybody had a great Father's Day weekend. Enjoyed family. Enjoyed your kids. And mine was awesome. I mentioned this earlier that, with my 80-plus-year-old parents here for the first time in a year and a half, haven't seen them in so long due to the vid and some other issues. But to see them and to be able to spend a couple of weeks with them, and especially this weekend, was, is it Uber special? Can I say Uber special? Ultra? What's higher than ultra? If I said ultra special, super special, Uber special, like what would be the top? What would be, how could I make it more clear how awesome it was to spend time with family this weekend? All the generations. Uber.
Elite.
It was an elite week. It was elite is what it was. Absolutely. There's nothing better than hanging out with, and my son absolutely loves his grandfather. Absolutely. Like we'll drop everything and, whatever we do. And
so if you guys were to run away, who would he run to?
It's so obvious. Let's just put it this way. And I'm not kidding. I wish I had video of this, and if I was smart, I would take video. But this is the honest truth. I mean, I wouldn't give it to you any other way. Is that? By the way, the honest truth? I mean, do you have to say the honest truth? Because isn't the truth honest? Because it's the truth. It's already honest. Here's the truth. We have to imagine I'm driving the car. My wife is next to me, and then it's my dad, my son, and my mom in the back seat. And we constantly have to scream at my dad and my son to stop messing around like two kids in the back seat. They're like two children. Well, one is and one isn't. But it's constantly like, stop it. When the two of them get together, it's just like my dad becomes a child, and it becomes this whole. It's awesome to see. It's crazy when you're driving, but it's funny. But anyway, it's a good time. So it was a fun weekend, and that's all I have to say about that. That's how I finish it out. That's my Tom Hanks. What was the character? That's all I have to say about that. What movie was there? Was Tom Hanks? What movie was that? Come on. It was, it's not like Joe Biden for a minute. Come on,
man.
Come on.
I have no idea.
I got to work on my Joe Biden.
Tom Hanks was in Toy Story.
Come on. The thing, the guy with the thing. And he comes over, and it's the fathers that founded the country. Come on, And they wrote that thing on the paper. It was a yellow paper. They had ink. They use a feather to write with. Like, come on. Anyway, Forrest Gump. Thank you. All right. That's why we have a text line. Forrest Gump. And that's all I have to say about that. He would end. You don't even know. Have you ever watched that?
Ironically enough, that was one of the movies I watched with my grandpa.
See? All right. And it was a nice memory. I'm not saying the movie. Yeah,
he would always play the guitar, and he'd stop watching. So.
Oh, all right. He played guitar?
I've never seen any. He couldn't write his name on a piece of paper, but he could play anything you put in front of him. He literally would bring you to tears.
That is awesome.
Crazy.
Love it. All right. This may bring some tears to your eyes, and not in a good way. Listen, something tragic happened over the weekend. It was an accident. was a tragic accident. And unfortunately, politicians on the left do what they do best. They take a moment in time as a snapshot and almost instantaneously figure out a way that they can use it to go against their political rivals and how it could possibly benefit them, even if it's something that is a horrific, tragic accident, because that's what the left does, because they're twisted. And I hate to say that every Democrat is like that. They're not. But man, there's just way too many. And man, there's just way too many people in the media that run with it. I'll give you the example. As many publications talked about, the Daily Wire specifically in this article, the tragic accident at the Stonewall Pride Parade in Wilton Manors, Florida, turned into a political weapon by Democrats and their media supporters. Why would you do this? A man was killed while another was injured when the driver of a pickup truck accelerated and ran them over. Within moments of the tragedy, before any information was known, what ends up happening? Democrats and the media began treating it as a deliberate attack on the LGBTQ community. Right away, without knowing one single thing. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was reportedly in a convertible getting ready to appear in the parade. Not clear exactly how far from the incident she was, but boy, if you ask the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, it was clear what was going on. Hashtag Death Santis on Twitter 12 hours afterwards, because anytime you can use it politically to go against the governor, why the governor would have anything to do with this, well, the left figures all of that out. That's what they do, because it's sometimes twisted in their mind. Now, what did the Fort Lauderdale mayor say? Dean Trentalis, a Democrat. He's at the parade. Oh, and he claims that the truck narrowly missed Representative Wasserman Schultz by inches. And he goes on to say this. Now, mind you, listen to the very end of what I'm about to play. Because if you're saying this is hyperbolic, this is over the top, how dare you do this? It's a tragic situation that happened at the Stonewall Pride Parade. It is a tragic accident. But listen to how only mere moments after this took place, how somebody ran with a narrative. Listen.
What does this appear
This
to
was a
be?
terrorist attack against the LGBT community. This is exactly what it is.
You don't think this was an accident?
Hardly an accident. It was deliberate, it was premeditated, and it was targeted against a specific person. Luckily, they missed that person, but unfortunately, they hit two other people, which I think they'll be okay. I don't know. They're laying on the ground right now. We're hoping that they'll survive.
They're laying on the ground right now. Tells you how quickly after this happened that he was willing to go there. It was a tragic accident. It wasn't terrorism. It wasn't a terrorist attack. I have yet to see, I don't know, maybe he has. I have yet to see an apology for that kind of statement. The media ran with it. They were more than happy to go with this idea that that's what it is. It's a terrorist attack against the LGBTQ community. That's where we are in this world. That's where we are in this. Is it? Was it? No, it wasn't. And, you know, this is sad, but it's important to bring up why. Because far too many times the media, the left, Democrats, all the same, run with a narrative before they know anything about what the truth is, what the facts are, time after time after time. And in some cases, they will run with a narrative so long as to gaslight it to the point where it is a given. There's no other way you can describe it, and it's just the way it is. What am I talking about? Glenn Greenwald at Substack, one of the last reporters out there, Glenn Greenwald. The enduring false narrative about the Pulse massacre shows the power of media propaganda. Politicians and activists should stop ratifying the fiction that Omar Mateen was motivated by anti-LGBT hatred. It dishonors the victims and obscures the real motive. 5th anniversary of the Pulse nightclub massacre in Orlando, numerous senators, politicians, activist groups commemorated that tragic event. that was just recently, just a couple of days, what was it, last week? By propagating an absolute falsehood, namely that the shooter, Omar Mateen, was motivated by anti-LGBT animus. The evidence is definitive and conclusive that this is false. Mateen, like so many others who committed similar acts of violence, was motivated by rage over President Obama's bombing campaigns in Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and chose Pulse at random without ever knowing it was a gay club. Yet this media-consecrated lie continues to fester. And he goes through the article explaining in specifics, in details, exactly why this is the case. All the evidence that's been out there, all the evidence that's been out there through investigation by many different publications. But yet the liberal propagandists who pose as journalists treated the storyline as definitively proven. And to this day, it is still something that's talked about, as if it is. And it wasn't that way. He did not go there to kill because he was anti-LGBT. It was not a hate crime. It's not why he did it. And I can go through the details of the different places that he went before to scope out, only to realize that's I think downtown Disney was one of the places that he went to. Specifically. It was mentioned in this article. Again, I can go through all the details of how this has been a narrative, a propaganda piece that's been pushed to the point where I'm not even allowed to talk about it outside of the station. You're not allowed to talk about it outside of, well, you're not at all. It's just a fact, and that's all that. And this becomes dangerous. This is a bad way for us to be. To just say, yeah, that's what it is, because that's what politicians say, and that's what the left says, and that's what the media says, so we're just running with it. That was a situation where it didn't go away when the facts were presented. The tragic situation, and all of these are tragic situations, and just like Glenn Greenwald was mentioning, it dishonors the victims, obscures the real motive. When you're trying to make something about something else, then you never get to the truth. And what happens the next time something happens, you have to be concerned about that. So how many people were this weekend to clarify this, to apologize for the statements that were made, to say that they were wrong? And dare I say, I'm still looking for an apology or something from the Fort Lauderdale mayor who says, I was wrong, I shouldn't have said it, but did. It's that same thing that the left will do on social media, where they'll put up something about a conservative, about a former president, about a current governor. They'll throw all of these lies and distortions and hyperbolic statements out there and get the clicks and get the retweets, but we'll wait a long period of time to put out a retraction, only to find out that the damage has already been done. And it's just sad. But you've got to recognize it and call it out. 239-479-5592, because you want it to stop. That's why you call it out. Because a person's life is lost. It's a tragic situation. That should be enough. Full stop. All right, let's see. When we come back, I didn't play the Bill Maher audio about Lin-Manuel Miranda. Why are you apologizing to these whiny progressive bullies? Why did he apologize? And what about what Bill Maher said? And how many people will listen and go, oh, I'm sitting in the audience and I'm clapping for him because he's saying it. I'm not even going to listen and pay attention to what he's saying. I like the other stuff when he beats up on Trump and conservatives and goes after the governor of Florida. Can you do more of that stuff? Yeah, okay. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, drewsteele.com, the website, if you want to watch. We do appreciate it. And we'll be back with the top 5 audio clips of the day as well. The 5 at 8:35 on the way. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele. 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1712. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1712. That's 800-575-1712. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you looking to have built or repaired a shingle, metal, or tile roof? Do you want to hire a company where the owner personally inspects your job and every job? Hello, I'm Jimmy Williamson of WB Williamson Brothers Roofing. If the answer is yes,
844-WB-BUILT.
WB Williamson Brothers Roofing represents the fourth generation of a tradition that began with my grandfather back in 1967. And it's a tradition of building something that you can be proud to put your name on. If you need a quote for the construction or repair of a shingle, metal, or tile roof, call me, Jimmy.
844-WB-BUILT.
Or visit us at 2944 South Street in Fort Myers. Williamson Brothers Roofing also specializes in standing seam metal roofs and commercial flat roofs. Satisfied clients include Florida Gulf Coast University and Pensacola State College. Call Williamson Brothers Roofing at 844-WB-BUILT. That's
844-WB-BUILT.
That's 844-WB-BUILT.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. You know the real estate market's really hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. I mean, if people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. So if you thought about selling your home for a premium price, now's the time to do it, but you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for over 20 years. Mistakes in real estate can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Anthony wrote a book on how to sell homes, your home, and for the most money. And he wants to ship it to you for free. Just go to GomesMovesHomes.com and tell him where you want to send it. Inside, you'll gain 20 years of secrets from wealthy home sellers on how you can sell for a premium price without doing repairs, letting strangers go through your home, and you could pick the closing date. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. Again, GomesMovesHomes.com.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career, including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East, would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you and your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
It's on level 3. Let's see what that does. Weak. It's on level 30 now. Weak. So honestly, this thing is kind of weak. I'm not going to lie. So I cranked it all the way up to level 99. So I'm going to see if that really does anything. I'm going to just go ahead and try to get...
No, Jake, no. That is the sound of a woman who decided to put her dog's shock collar on to see what would happen, and she tested all the levels, and then she cranked it up to the highest it would go and jolted her right to the floor. No, Jake, no.
But what?
No.
All right.
No.
But maybe
No.
if I just...
No.
I won't
No. That's it.
be our first.
Hey, ho, look at the time. All right, we got to go take a break. No. Man. It's hard to believe I have to even. All right, coming up, the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's the 5 at 8:35. We will have that for you. Bill Maher calling out whiny progressives. He kind of does that, right? There's like a 1.3% nugget of actual truth in Bill Maher's show, and then the rest of it is bashing Trump and conservatives and everybody else. So he's still fun, right? Okay, well, we'll play the audio anyway.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach with an update on critical race theory, the latest attempt by the left to divide our country along racial lines by teaching kids to hate their country, hate themselves, and hate each other. It's total bullshit, and it's being promoted by leftist race baiters, peddled by the teachers union, and pushed into student textbooks. But on June 10th, Florida's Board of Education voted to ban critical race theory from being taught in public school classrooms, and you have my word that I'll file legislation to give this ban the force of law. I'm going to fight this state-sanctioned racism in every classroom, every courtroom, and every corner of the great state of Florida, because our children deserve nothing less. This is Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be an American patriot, because we are the good guys. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and never give up, never give in, never back down, and never forget that this is your government and they work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue, a lot of you know about. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission that was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-200-1966. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-200-1966. That's 800-200-1966 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Monday morning. I-75 southbound backed up for several miles coming from Colonial Boulevard down through Daniels Parkway and tracking a crash causing major delays still along Daniels westbound in that area right near Danport Boulevard going through 75 past Treeline all the way back toward JetBlue Park and Gateway Boulevard. So if you have to head out of Gateway or Lehigh, you may want to take Colonial Boulevard. Colonial westbound is also slow moving. So State Road 82 can get you into Fort Myers a lot faster if you can reroute yourself a little bit farther north right now. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Monday, Southwest Florida. After a muggy start to the day, look for another hot and humid afternoon with the high near 92 degrees and heat index values ranging between 100 to 107 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms develop as we head into this afternoon, winding down later on in the evening with temperatures falling only into the middle 70s overnight. Tomorrow, slightly drier with just some isolated storms. Still another hot day with a high near 93 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes sports page. Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes sports page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients, for you? It means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer, you get a legal army, almost 800 lawyers alone. Your case is a big deal to us. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Two 239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live, drewsteele.com. That's the website, Steele has 3 E's. We do appreciate you watching at the website, and also if you want to go to Facebook at Drew Steele Radio, that is fine as well. All right, before we get to the top, do you want to do this before we get to the top 5 audio clips of the day or after the top 5 audio clips? Before? We should do it right now. You want to wait till after? Really? Okay. All right, so Jake has a millennial minute that he wants to relay to everyone. What?
This is serious. I don't know how to feel about it.
I know this. maybe every day we could have Jake's Millennial Minute because he always has something that he's following on social media or TikTok or World of Warcrafty Goodness Part 7 or whatever he's doing, playing video games at home. And so we can learn valuable lessons about what millennials are thinking, understanding that we don't want to get in their head. We don't want to sit at home for the next stimmy. We're not doing all those kind of things. But if you can get inside the head of a millennial, you can learn a lot, or because they're looking in places and looking at things that we're not looking at. Does that make sense?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you could get into the mind of an elementary school student or a high school student to find out what it is that they're thinking through the things that you are not living, then you can gain valuable insight as to some of the things that they won't tell you. It's almost like, it's good. It's like investigative reporting for millennial brains.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Oh, it's weird. All right. So if you're wondering what this Jake Millennial Minute's going to be about, he's flipping out on the other side of the glass. For the past 20 minutes, he's been going crazy. And you think it's something we have to inform the public of?
Yeah, I might get in trouble for this, but why not? I think it's...
wait. You didn't say that part of it. You think we can get in trouble for that? I don't want to get in trouble.
No, we won't get in trouble, but you know what I mean. Shall I do this or no?
I don't know. Should I ask you off the air what it is again? Because we're not going to have time today. Maybe we have to save it for tomorrow so I can find out. Let's just do the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5. I'm just asking you, Commissioner, since you're running to be governor of Florida, about the hard data while Ron DeSantis was and remains governor. And you can't argue that the unemployment rate in Florida right now is half what it is in New York and California, and it is 27th on the list when you look at COVID deaths. My question is, all your criticism of him saying he didn't shut down soon enough, calling for mask mandates statewide, looking at the data, did he have it right and did you have it wrong?
Oh, that is CNN's Poppy Harlow popping some truth at Nikki Fried, who has one narrative, and it's
marijuana.
Yeah, but in this case, she was on with CNN, absolutely getting crushed by CNN. It's like, listen, you keep arguing about the sitting governor, and you want to be the governor of the state, but you keep talking about things that are not really true, and things are good in the state, and much better than across the country. Why are you saying the things? There's more to it that I have to get to, but it was stunning and fun all at the same time.
Number 4.
Asked Brian to, on national television, admit he and his network are a bunch of liars about Donald Trump.
Kevin in Princeton, Indiana. Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Stelter is the biggest minister of misinformation I have ever heard, and I'm a news junkie. He made the statement just a few minutes ago that he is all the stories are always evolving. Yeah, his stories absolutely evolve.
When Brian Stelter decides to go on C-SPAN to answer callers' questions, and they open up the call line, and he gets wrecked. People just crushing him on the phone. As the liars lie on CNN. It's that was awesome as well.
Number 3.
In 3 big, beautiful quarters of a mile, we're going to make a U-turn, okay? We're going to make a U-turn, turn around, or as Jen Psaki likes to say, we're going to circle back, okay? We're going to make the U-turn, the greatest U-turn the world has ever seen at Corpus Christi Drive, and we're going to turn it around faster than the world has ever seen. We're rerouting, or as I like to call it, lost, okay? We've got no clue where we are. We are more lost than a liberal after reading the Constitution. We're more lost than Sleepy Joe after leaving his basement, but we're going to get there soon, believe me.
I was on Twitter, and somebody reposted some guy on TikTok who does these Trump impersonations and was doing the Trump GPS, and that's... I wonder if you could take that audio and like put it into your GPS and have. Can you do that?
I think you can.
That would be awesome. But I thought that was hilarious. There was a whole lot of that. I have no idea if the guy's got a whole channel filled with it, but that was pretty good.
Number 2.
Lin-Manuel Miranda had to say, I'm truly sorry. I'm learning from the feedback. I thank you for raising it, and I'm listening. I promise to do better in my future projects. This is what I was talking about with Nikki. Please stop the apologizing. You're the guy who made the founding fathers black and Hispanic. I don't think you have to apologize to Twitter. This is why people hate Democrats. It's cringy.
It's cringy. This is why people hate Democrats. Why are you apologizing to the whiny progressives that are out there? That was Bill Maher talking about who was it? The actor and the writer. He was the guy who did Hamilton. Who was it? Lin-Manuel Miranda apologizing. And why does he have to apologize? And again, because that's what the woke left wants you to do, and it's never going to be good enough. I'll play some more audio from that interview there as well, Bill Maher, because it's very it's stunning and it's telling.
Number 1.
Yeah, and specific to this idea of critical race theory, I have to tell you, I just spent some time reporting on this county in Virginia, about an hour outside of Washington. And to your point, this is something that is mobilizing people and resonating very deeply. It was about a 100-degree day. Dozens and dozens and dozens of parents, mostly white in this largely affluent county, showed up to a school board meeting. For many of them, the very first school board meeting they'd ever attended, specifically because of this one issue.
PBS NewsHour reporter on Meet the Press talking about how you're winning. People are concerned about critical race theory in their schools, and even though they haven't been at school board meetings ever in their life, they're showing up in mass because they're starting to see exactly what's going on, and it's not just Southwest Florida.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Again, you're winning. There's no doubt about it. They're saying, why do you think they're talking about it so much? I mean, you could even hear on Meet the Press how it's Chuck Todd, who he has a GOP strategist, pollster, whatever it is, and he has a Democrat pollster on. And you can hear how he attacks and goes after the GOPer who is trying to explain a little bit about what has been happening to somebody who doesn't want to hear it. Chuck Todd doesn't want to. He wants to destroy the narrative. He wants all these people on Meet the Press so that he can destroy what is out there in the truth about what's going on with critical race theory, because they see that the walls are closing in. People understand what's going on. Listen to this.
You mentioned critical race theory a couple times. This is a parent-led backlash at the grassroots level.
It's manufactured.
No,
and
it's completely.
And then sort of
elected
seems to
officials
have been lit. The fire was lit.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I think it started because.
See, hold on a second. That's Chuck Todd arguing. No, it's been lit. This is something that is manufactured. It's not real. No, it's very real. And we all understand it. And yet Chuck Todd wants to fight against somebody who's trying to explain that it's very real.
Parents have had it with the education bureaucracy after COVID. Mm-hmm. They're fed up with it. They tend to trust Democrats when it comes to education funding, but they trust Republicans on education accountability.
Trusting Democrats on funding, I don't know about that part, but they're talking about you trust Democrats to fund what? To fund the policies of critical race theory being taught in our schools. Anyway, let him go on.
I think that what the backlash you're seeing on critical race theory in schools is another example of parents trying to hold educators accountable.
They want to hold educators accountable. And we should be. And it's about time. And it's good that we're seeing this. Now, here you have the Democrat pollster on Meet the Press who's going to give you the spin. Now, listen carefully. This is for all here. This is a really good lesson. You ready? This is for all of you who understand that critical race theory is being taught in schools, not, hey, kids, critical race theory. This is the definition, and this is what it is. Hey, let's go do some math problems now. No, that's not what it is. It is everything has to be looked at through the lens of critical race theory, this idea of looking through everything at critically through the lens of race that we've discussed numerous times, understanding what it is and what it is not, understanding that when we're talking about it specifically, and you know all the answers about being defined by race, individuals being defined by race, and skin color and not character, and how whites are all racist and we're systemically racist. It's just the way that we are born. It is what is existing here across the globe. And that means that any institution, the Constitution, the American system of government, all has to be dismantled because it's racist to begin with, because of the people that created it. You understand that this is something that people believe and teachers believe enough and principals in schools believe enough that they are willing to teach this as if it is gospel truth to their students. It's not about three words, critical race theory. It's about that this is the way it is. And so now we have to teach kids about what it is in their everyday lives as an incontrovertible truth. So listen to this explanation by this Democrat pollster. Now, for those that you understand it, you're going to know what I'm talking about right away. For those of you that still have your doubts, and for those of you who are on the left, and for those of you who are in the media, Democrats, one and the same, we're onto your game. Listen as well. And look, if you're somebody who's on the fence and you're not sure, this is the Democrat pollster brought on by Meet the Press and Chuck Todd to explain what critical race theory is. And listen to the non-answer given. No specifics, can't defend it, but listen to how they go about doing it. Listen.
Coordinated, it's aggressive, it's intentional, right? This is part of the tribalism play. The critical race theory is yet another tool in the racial tribal boogeyman's toolbox.
That's all it is. It's the tribal racial boogeyman toolbox. So you're all racist. You're saying all these things about it existing because you're all a bunch of racist, and that now you're just trying to come up with some other way to go after education, just because of who you are inherently. And listen, at least he didn't say anything about Trump, so that's a good thing.
To drive and inflame tribalism, which Republicans think helps them in elections. This is Trump 2.0.
Maybe I spoke too soon. That's all it is. Just driving people to the polls. It's just about elections. Oh, and it's always about Trump. You can't make it up.
This is a continuation of this, right? Critical race theory is an arcane sort of ideal. Why is it front and center right now? The same reason that Mitch McConnell attacked Stacey Abrams when she came out for the voting bill. It is racial. It is tribalism. We've seen it grow under Trump, and this is part and parcel of it. And they think this helps ignite their base.
I just got to stop. Where's the defense of it? Where's the explanation as to why this is all tribalism? It's all made up. It's all these words, these phrases, and tribalism, and Trump, and elections, and Stacey Abrams, and Mitch McConnell, and the racist voter ID laws that are out there in certain states. Do you see what it is? None of it is an explanation to defend what's going on, or to even explain to people that don't know and aren't sure what's happening. That's their explanation. That just shows you that you're winning, and it shows you that they don't want to admit what the truth is. Yeah, it's you got to do better than that. And ultimately, we have to make sure that we're still on top of it and keep an eye on it. All right, some other pieces of audio of some winning going on. The interview with Nikki Fried was awesome. You know, on the heels of Ron DeSantis winning this Western Conservative Summit straw poll about approval, he beats Trump 74 to 71% in the straw poll. But it wasn't about who you're going to vote for if they run for president. It was about approval. Like, if they run, do you approve of this? And it was Ron DeSantis winning, beating Trump. And, you know, you can read anything you want into it, and it's going to be spun all different kinds of ways. And the good news is that we got quite the bench when you talk about Trump and DeSantis. That's a good thing leading into 24. We've got some good names. Ted Cruz out there as well. Some great names. And so a good feeling heading into 22 and 24. But here you have Nikki Fried, who was running on marijuana. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But other than that, CNN And Poppy Harlow is like, well, hold on a second.
You've been very critical of Governor DeSantis' handling of the COVID pandemic. Listen to what he said earlier this spring.
If you look at what's happening in South Florida right now, I mean, this place is booming. It would not be booming if it was shut down.
He's right.
The data backs it up. I mean, Florida has a 4.8% unemployment rate, well below the national average. The per capita death rate from COVID-19 is 27th, nowhere near the highest. Do you think he deserves credit for that?
She's got one answer at least.
Marijuana?
But that's not it. All right, let's see what it is here.
No, I don't think he deserves credit.
Okay.
He had a very laissez-faire, hands-off approach to COVID. First of all, there was a lack of transparency during the entire pandemic. He had, no information that was coming out of our nursing homes, no information that was coming out of our prisons.
He moved. He was one of the quickest governors to move to lock down the nursing homes. The opposite of what happened here in New York.
Well, the problem was that he also wasn't giving.
No, the problem is
marijuana.
Come on, I'm the one that's going to be running on marijuana. Don't you want to vote for? Listen, it's clear more and more each day that she wants to go after the. Do I have that audio? Wait. Let it go on. Listen to this quickly before we go to break here.
So it's the private businesses and our local governments that stepped up. Ron, the entire time, not only was not empathetic towards the people of our state, but was very confusing on the way he was leading our state.
I hear your points on the messaging. I'm just asking you, Commissioner, since you're running to be governor of Florida, about the hard data while Ron DeSantis was and remains governor.
All right. So in the interview, she talks about how he's just running for 24. That's all this is about. And we just want to have a governor that's going to be here long term, which is hysterical coming from somebody who had their pictures on gas pumps so that everybody would know what she looks like when she runs for governor instead of just being there for agriculture commissioner. That's rich. But anyway, the point is this. You can go to break. It's okay. The point is this, is that Nikki Fried is not going to be the answer for Florida. Charlie Crist is not going to be the answer for Florida. Governor DeSantis is in a very good position right now because of the leadership and because of the results that you can spin it any way you want, but nobody can deny the results. And it's still going to be a tough push because of the media who's going to find somebody to back. And it may not be Nikki Fried. It may be somebody else. And they may be waiting for that somebody else. But she's definitely not the answer. Oh, and by the way,
marijuana.
So we just got to throw that one out there, too. Okay. All right. We will see you tomorrow. Glenn Beck is next. Have a great day. Let's find out what's going on with the remainder of our forecast with Wink News meteorologist Casey Sherman.
After a muggy start to the day, look for a hot and humid afternoon with highs near 92 degrees and heat index values between 100 to 107 degrees. Scattered storms developing later on today. As we head into tonight, temperatures will be mild in the middle 70s with a high of 93 degrees for your Tuesday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.